Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I've been inspired to make this video just by being part of so many different creator communities and groups through different social platforms like Facebook, Instagram, you name it. And I see a lot of very common questions that are just basic and beginner questions on getting started, things regarding recording videos, editing videos, all things just getting started for content creating for online platforms. So I figured today, having a background in video production and photography, I did go to college and graduated in that field, so I do have some background knowledge on some of this material, which I feel now I'm going to share with you, so you don't have to pay for those 14-day filmmaker courses. You don't have to pay for even going to school in some instances. If it's just something you're doing as a hobby, you're not gonna have to pay for any tutorials or anything that anyone's trying to sell you. I'm gonna do it right here in this video. I'm gonna break down, not in too much detail, but I'll go over some basics in each department, whether it's recording, editing, lighting, audio, anything like that. This is your one-stop shop. So let's break it down, what we're gonna be going over today. So first things first, the biggest question I see in a lot of YouTube groups and a lot of video production and photography groups is gear important? Now, later on in this video, I am going to go over what I have in my camera bag as a professional videographer and photographer, but for the purpose of just getting started, the most important thing to realize when it comes to making videos, what camera should you use? And the answer to that is what you have available. I have the iPhone 13 Pro. Now you don't need something as fancy as this, but you simply use what you have available to you, and simply it comes in handy that you have this device that takes such great quality now in your pocket. You don't need a camera like I have, although I will explain the benefits a little bit of having a camera later on. But phone works. Phone is great for recording video and in some instances taking photos now. Next thing that I keep hearing and keep seeing in different social media posts is what to be used for editing. Now, editing does not have to be complicated. It really doesn't. What do I use for editing? I've got my own MacBook, a MacBook, and it's a great laptop I can travel around with. I can bring it anywhere. I can do my editing from anywhere. Not a big deal. It just has the right specs. I won't get too much into specs on what you need for editing, because ultimately it depends on the quality of footage you're using and how long your videos and different content are as well. So that's always going to vary. This is what I like to use. My MacBook has never let me down. Now, as you may notice, my lighting is fairly even all around, and there are very simple ways. You don't need expensive equipment to get yourself decent lighting. Actually, what I'm using right now is for the most part natural, except for a couple of things, and you can do this very easily. So I'm lucky where I live that right above me where I'm facing, just to the left, there is a window, and right now it's a fairly sunny day, so I'm getting that natural light from that way. Then over to my right off screen, I'll take a couple of clips from my phone on what's over there. So there's another couple of windows. One's not particularly facing my direction, but I do have the blinds open on it just to let in a little more light. Then there is one that's more facing my direction that's giving me light from this way. Now, the only unnatural light that I am using is right under the, right over the countertops behind me here. It's just a little bit of light that's actually supposed to be used for the countertops. It gives me that backlight to allow me to have a little bit of depth separated from what's behind me, which is mostly my kitchen. So I have natural light that way. I've got light behind me, and the importance of a backlight is actually to give you that separation so it doesn't look like you're flat against a background. That's something that you can do just with lights in your house, preferably white instead of the like the white daylight is what I mean, as opposed to like the yellow tungsten lights, which can give off an uneven tinge, which might make your color look a little bit unnatural. But if that's all you have to work with, there are things you can do in post in editing to help with that a little bit. Now I'm gonna jump into the part of the video where I kind of go over the gear that I've been using and that I love to use on a daily basis. I'll go through what's all in my camera bag, different things that I use for different purposes. The camera I'm currently using, I'll show a clip of it here. I'm just gonna throw it up on the screen. Panasonic GH5, great camera, shoots 4K in 24 frames, 60 frames, 30 frames, 1080, it goes up to 120. Great color profile right out of the camera. Of course, I do some editing in post just to add a little bit of color grading to make the colors pop, to make myself pop a little bit more. So guys, I actually just ran into my first problem in the process of filming this video, but it actually allows me to go into a product that is very useful and resourceful to me. So let me explain first. I forgot to take my main tripod out of my truck. So it's still outside in my truck, which is gonna be cold. It's actually been in there for a while because I haven't really been making a whole lot of content as it's the winter here in Alberta. But that being said, there's a way to be resourceful if you don't have a proper tripod. One piece of gear that a very popular YouTuber and content creator filmmaker uses, that he actually introduced it to me. Okay, so the Joby GorillaPod, I believe this is the 3K that I can use. Right now, my camera is currently sitting on top of my mantle on a switch pod. Now, the only problem with the switch pod is that it keeps your camera in one spot. You can't like bend the legs or anything like you can with a GorillaPod. And because I have my camera bag on the floor and will need to zoom in to be able to show you the contents of my camera bag, I'm gonna have to use this so I can bend it down, zoom my camera in, and get a proper focus on that for you. Now, one thing I also want to do very quickly for the purpose of still having clear audio, and I'm going to introduce another one thing that I use here. I'm going to switch my type of audio from a shotgun mic to a lav mic, so when I'm going through each product, you guys can still hear me very clearly. Right, so now I have my Rode Wireless Go lav mic, and I'm just going to simply clip it on myself and hide it. That's a very important thing too. You don't want it out too much. You want to be able to still hear yourself clearly, but not have the microphone too noticeable. You kind of want it off a little bit just so it's not in everybody's face. It's not too obvious how exactly you're recording such crisp and clear audio. All right, so let's jump right in. First off, one of the things I love to use, aside from the Panasonic being my main camera, I do have another Pride and Joy camera that I love to use. So I have my Sony Alpha A7 II. That is my go-to photography camera with a 24-240 telephoto zoom lens. These are absolutely handy. I can get shots of all kinds. I'll throw in some samples that I used when I was last up at Lake Louise with my wife, so you guys can see just how great quality this camera with this lens is. The next thing I have, you guys, is not an absolute necessity, but it's something I love for context shots that I've only used a handful of times, is my DJI Mavic Mini SE drone. I'm able to control it actually using my phone and the DJI app as my viewfinder. So when the drone is up in the air, I can see exactly where I'm flying. This is great if you want to upgrade to some cinematic footage, always something that comes in handy. I recently had to replace one of the blades on it because my stupid self decided to fly it in an area that I was a little bit uncomfortable and it was a tight spot, but luckily it was just one of the propellers and I was able to fix it and it is still in perfect working condition. Now, my normal shotgun mic that I keep on my camera for high quality audio is this Rode VideoMic Pro Plus with the windsock on it. Some call it a dead cat as well. This is great for all conditions. It has different adjustments on the back for different types of audio levels in that. And I can break this down in a separate video as well if you guys do want more videos like this. Now, my backup microphone that I have is the Shure VP83 lens hopper microphone. It's a great backup shotgun. The difference between this one and the Rode is that with the Rode, it turns on and turns off with the camera when you turn it on and off, and it preserves battery life.
This one is powered separately. It is powered by AA batteries. You do have to remember to turn it on and off. It does not turn on and off automatically with the camera. So that's why it's a backup for me. When I'm trying to record something, whether it's a wedding or anything that requires solid audio, I don't want to forget to have to turn it on and then have no audio and have the entire shot or the entire shoot for the day be a complete bust.
Okay, so now notice that I'm at a different position. I'm at my desk. And when it comes to lighting at my desk, now that we've gone through gear and that, I can go a little bit back into the filmmaking side. Part of my light that I have here, and this is something that a lot of people have because obviously you need it for editing, for watching YouTube videos, computer. I've got my big computer here. That right now is providing a source of light. I also have a little lamp on my desk. It's not any type of studio or production light. It's literally a simple desk lamp. And it has type of light, the yellow light bulb that I don't really like, but it's still providing that source of light. And those windows that I had mentioned from before now are behind me, providing that backlight. So you still get that depth of field that you want, a little bit of motion blur. My camera is focused on me and it's not too in focus on anything around me. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about camera focus. If you're shooting yourself, it is very, very optimal, especially with today's technology, that autofocus does work. And I can still see myself as I'm kind of looking more in my viewfinder than in my lens, which there's a trick to that I'll get into later. But having that autofocus, you can always see your focus in that little viewfinder on cameras that flip around, or if you're using your phone, you just use it front facing and you can always see yourself on your screen. So that's something that's very beneficial. When you're shooting weddings or if you're shooting other subjects, you can always switch over to manual focus. And manual focus will have different settings and different features that you want to use, like the ISO, the focus points, and each camera is going to be different on what it allows with that. So that would be a whole other video separate if I choose to do something like that, or if you guys would like to see more videos of that nature. Now I promise we're almost at the editing side. I'm getting there. But there's a few important features that I want to mention, and this is more specific to my situation. Now, on the new MacBooks, there's not any SD card slot along either of the sides. Here we just have the headphone jack, which is great because I love to use headphones when I edit. And it just has two of the USB-C ports, as you can kind of see here. And that creates issues when I'm trying to get SD cards in. Now, I have a little device here that I was able to pick up. This is an SD card converter. So all I have to do, it's a USB-C and SD card slot. The USB-C I can just plug in, and then when I take the my SD card out of the camera, I can just plug it into this and my laptop will recognize it. Alright, so I've brought my footage onto my laptop, so I've imported all the stuff from my camera. Now, I use DaVinci Resolve, which is a free editing software. So I'm just going to open that up. That's something you can download from the internet for the free version. There is also a pro version that you can pay for, but if you're on a budget, it's something that's very, very easy to use. There's a bunch of tutorials that you could follow on YouTube from other creators on how to get started with it, right from how to download it. That's something that can be done in a complete other video. I can go through a whole DaVinci Resolve video if you guys would like. But I'm just going to open it here and get to the basic layout and show you how to bring your video clips in. Just zoom back out for you here. And a lot of this, as much as I do like doing edited projects, a lot of this I am doing raw for you guys and showing you a little bit more, just so you can see a little bit more of the process. So I made it full screen, and now I just have to import media from my media bin. And what I'm going to do is go back to that folder that I've created for YouTube into my video footage, and what I'm calling this video, Beginner's Guide to Content Creation. And I just grab all of this footage, and I will select open, and I just have to grant access to that folder for the purpose of the video. And right now it's showing me that I need to change my project frame rate, because I guess the default with DaVinci is not matching what I'm shooting in, which is 24 frames per second. So I'm just going to go ahead and click change. As you can see now, all my folders, all my files are there. It's just a matter now of all of them loading and putting them into the timeline. All right, one last trick before we wrap up this video that I hinted to before. Now, right now you can see me for the most part here. I'm just gonna make sure I'm in focus. That I'm mostly looking into my viewfinder and not looking right into the lens. Now I'm looking right into the lens. But if you want a trick by a very famous content creator that kind of got most of us started on this platform, at least in my opinion, Casey Neistat, what he does in all of his videos. Sunglasses. Now, a lot of people, or a few people, when I made my return to the platform, I had sunglasses on in my video and they said, it looks a little bit disingenuous. Okay, I understand the point. But right now, can you tell whether I'm looking into my viewfinder or into the lens? No, you can't. So that's a little trick if you want to not show your eye movement as much, so it doesn't look as awkward or as unpersonal or impersonal, whatever that word is, to be able to still connect with your viewers and not have them kind of focusing on where your eyes are looking. All right, and that's gonna do it for this video. If you liked it, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. If you've gotten to this point of the video and you've stuck with me to this point, thank you so much. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Anything else you would like to see, anything that you found helpful. Just honest personal feedback. It helps me go forward with my content, what you guys want more of, anything else you'd like to see. Like I said, I'm a videographer and a photographer, so if you guys want to see behind the scenes of weddings, anything that I do later this year, let me know about that as well. Any type of content, leave it in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.